It's Ashley Fissenden from Notjustboxing. I'm here with Joe Vargas. Joe, how you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you, Coach.
Good. Do I look at you or look at the fucking phone? I'm sorry, do I look at the phone?
You look at me.
Okay, cool.
CANELO Crawford, who you got?
Oh, man, that's a hard one, bro. I've been going back and forth in my mind on that one. But this is the first time I pick it. I'm going to go with Canelo on this one.
And why is that?
They're both great at what they do. I'm going against Maggie. I heard everything she said right now. She's right on the money on all that stuff, but Crawford has done a lot of great things at a smaller weight. You know, that jump is I don't know if it's reachable for him. If anybody can do it, it's him, and I'm contradicting myself. I just don't see it happening, you know. Could it happen? Yeah, it's boxing. Mm-hmm. But I just think Canelo's too good at the little things and what's Crawford's game plan going to be, you know. That's what's going to define the fight to me.
Do you think Canelo knocks him out?
No, but I think, that's the only way I think he's going to win. I think he wants to make a statement. I was going back and forth about Canelo. Like, everybody talks about, like, for example, when Berlanga fought Shiraz. Mm-hmm. Did I say it right? Shiraz? Yep. Berlanga was engaging with Shiraz. He wasn't engaging with Canelo much, you know? Same thing with Ryder. He didn't engage with Canelo. Munguia did. And it's like, you fight people different. Crawford's not going to fight him the same way he's fought everybody else. Yeah, he's going to make great adjustments. He's going to do some great things. It's not the same till you get hit by Canelo. Mm-hmm. You know, one time, I remember the first time Ulises Sierra sparred with Canelo, the first time we went to his camp, and he came back after the first round, and I said, "What's up, mijo? How hard does he hit?" He said, "Coach, I can feel his power all the way down to my feet." That's different. You're not landing them perfect in the face, but you're landing them anywhere. That changes your mindset when you're fighting. You know, the casual fan don't understand that feeling in the ring, you know, when you're fucking second guessing yourself.
Even taking him on the guard. Like, I know you
hurts.
show that here.
It hurts. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm not taking nothing from Crawford. To me, he's one of my favorite fighters, one of the best fighters in the game. It just, I think, too much.
Mm-hmm. If you were in Canelo's corner for this fight, what would you be telling him to do?
Oh. For that camp, I mean, you got to go back to the old Canelo feints, not looking for a one-punch counter, you know, putting punches together in combinations, not single shots, because you're not going to hit Crawford with a single shot. Mm-hmm. You gotta start low, finish high, you know, or vice versa, start high and finish low. You got to change levels with Crawford. You can't just headhunt with Crawford, you know. Mm-hmm. And Canelo's not a headhunt. He kind of goes to the body, but he does the same thing all the time. So I would have him, like, you know, get a little bit more creative with Crawford.
What's interesting, when Canelo shadow boxes, he puts his punches away nice, good combinations. When he's ever on the pads that I've seen, it's always single shots. It's always power.
That's how he fights, yeah.
And that sort of just moved him away from how great he was when he was in his prime.
Yeah.
So do you think as well that's down to just him maybe not wanting to gas?
I think it's a little bit of everything. But I also think that this one he's rising up for. You know, this is a big fight for him. He hasn't had I mean, for him, it's all mega fights, right? But a big opponent like this, I think he's getting up for this one. So is Crawford. Mm-hmm. I don't want to seem like I'm fucking all Team Canelo, because I've been debating with this fight for a while.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans are like, why is Canelo fighting someone so much smaller and all this stuff? But the fight was pushed on him by everyone, Turkey,
everybody.
Crawford. So it's a little bit of a tough one for him, where if he does lose to a smaller guy as well, I think that pride, I think we will see a different Canelo to his last few fights for sure.
Of course. It's like he'll be ostracized back in Mexico, you know, for losing to a smaller guy. I think they would accept him more if he lost to Benavides, or even Bivol loss was acceptable, you know, because he was daring to be great. Mm-hmm. Now Crawford is daring to be great. So Canelo needs to do something to neutralize that. If not, yeah, he'll be.
So how many, you've known Canelo since, how old was he?
I met him in the amateurs, but I've been in camp with him for like the last 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't remember what the first fight we worked with him, but I remember we're in and out when he was working with Kirkland, I think, a little further back, yeah.
Oh, that was a good knockout.
Yeah.
And you got any good stories of Canelo in camp?
Oh, I got so many, man. That guy's so chill, so laid back. I had a different perception about him till when I actually got to hang out with him, because, you know, when you see somebody, you've seen him in the amateurs, but we weren't like, hey, who are you? You're my best friend. And there was like another kid from Jalisco, you know, but watching him, what he's evolved to, and seeing how he handles it, it's something impressive. Mm-hmm. I have so many stories. I don't know, like sparring wise, him having fun in the gym. I remember oh man, there's so many stories him beating up on his friends when they spar, beating up Mario Lopez and sparring, shit like that, man. He's so cool. He's so laid back. One of the things that I learned from him was watching him take an ice bath. I used to do 3 to 5 minutes with the fighters, and Canelo does about 20 minutes. And he purposely shivers for like 10 minutes. He don't warm up right away, Mm-hmm. And I asked him why. He told me his logic behind it. I was like, oh shit, I embrace that, Mm-hmm. And I have all my fighters do 20 minutes and shiver for 10. So I learned little things from him. I learned, head movement. One of the things that I heard, this is the thing I want to talk about. You're going to get a backlash for this. Guys always talk about getting your head off the line. Whoever owns the line in this fight will win the fight. Whoever can control the line will win the fight. Because this is the best fighters know how to dominate the line. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion.
So casual fans might not even know what that means.
So that's the comment. Everybody that doesn't know how to fight or hasn't been involved in the game, they'll be like, get off the line, get your head off the line. Okay. And it's true. But the best fighters in the game, that means your head down the center of the line where you can get countered. The best fighters in the world know how to control that line. They can control it with a lean back, a little slip, but they're there, And that's going to be a battle of the line this fight.
Mm-hmm. And what other story? I know you got a few. You've told me quite a few. You got any other good ones, Canelo?
I don't know. I can't think right now. I'm like, when we finish the interview, I'm like, I should have said this one.
What about Eddie then? Because obviously he was in the spotlight for ages. He was coach of the year, everything. And everyone sort of turned him in lately with, to be fair, there's lots of things coming out now proving innocence, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Because he's had a lot of heat. But his coaching, have you learned anything from Eddie?
No, I learned more from Chepo.
Okay.
Chepo Reynoso, the dad.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from him. While we were sparring, he was always in my ear talking. Me and Eddie are kind of like the same age almost. Like he's 2 years older than me probably. So he kind of sees me like, But the dad, he gave me advice, told me how to work with fighters, told me what to do with fighters. And he's the head of he's Eddie's like, he's the one who made Eddie who Eddie is, Mm-hmm. Kind of like Señor Eduardo Garcia. He made Robert and he made, Mikey. Those men, they don't kind of like the credit, so they kind of back away. But those are the men that built those guys into who they are.
So Eddie's dad, what was the main thing that you learned from him?
He always told me not to be a fighter's friend, to be a coach. Everybody wants to be their friend. And your job is to coach. Just like everybody has a bunch of friends, but you only have a couple parents, Your role as a coach is to be disciplinary and structure. Yeah, you can know how to have fun with them, but you always got to remain being the coach, He always told me, he always emphasized on the feints. Speed, it's funny because he emphasized speed and feints. He never emphasized power. But he said speed is power. So, everything changed. Things have changed since he's not been in camp that much. Mm-hmm. But even I'm not part of the camp anymore now. He's gone.
Yeah.
But he was the guy that was really cool to me.
And obviously you've seen Canelo's camps, how they're structured and things. What is that structure like in his camp?
Well, honestly, I only seen sparring days.
Gotcha.
I was always there just for sparring. I was never there for camp with them training. So after training, Canelo's all about recovery. Once he sparred, Canelo would walk in and get ready and spar whatever rounds he was going to execute, how many minutes he wanted to work. And then right when he was done sparring, it was either pad work for a little bit and then jump on the ice. Mm-hmm. Ice or stretch, and he was always one or the other, But he's always doing recovery. That's the biggest part that I've noticed about him.
I see a lot of fighters neglect that. I see a lot of fighters in most gyms, just as soon as they're done, boom, straight out. See you later and go home.
It almost reminds me like he embraces the weakness, because there's a video, it's all over social media, when his son is crying. And most parents will tell the kids, especially in the Mexican culture, don't cry, don't be a little, And Canelo's telling his son, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be weak. So I noticed Canelo kind of embraces that in the boxing world. If he feels pain, he goes and takes care of it. A lot of fighters don't. They want to be tough, and they keep working through those pains. He's worked with them, fought with the messed up knee. So I think after all these years, he's understood that he needs to be 100%. So recovery is like the thing that I took from them.
Mm-hmm. And the one sort of taint over his career about the Clenbuterol and all this stuff in the Mexican meat that he was cleared with, you're one of the people that said you can see that actually happen because you've seen firsthand on the ranches, right?
And the livestock ranches, sometimes when people purchase the cattle from you, they lock the cattle in for 24 hours and they're just going to weigh the cattle without any feces or urine in their body. So a lot of the ranchers, they know sometimes in the dry parts of Mexico, they inject the cattle with Clenbuterol so it keeps the cattle nice and stocky and big. So when that happens, and it shouldn't be done, but they do it, they want to make their money too, and you ingest that food and you have Clenbuterol in your system. Mm-hmm. That's why they all have the whole soccer team tested for it. For low dosages, because when you eat it, it doesn't hit you like when I'm not a scientist when it comes to steroids, but you don't have that high levels of, very low levels because you're ingesting it,
So Brandon Adams fighting Sergey Bohachuk, the rematch.
I'm biased, bro. I'm California all the way. Brandon Adams, let's pull it off, I think, isn't he back with Abel Sanchez?
So he's with Manny Robles at Big Bear.
But they're not working with Abel.
No.
Oh, okay. Because when I met him, he was working with Abel.
Yes. Yeah.
I met him when he just came, and he was like 4 or 5 fights in, and he sparred with some of my guys, and he was unknown. I was like, damn.
Was he good?
He was really good. Mm-hmm. He a really good guy. But I got to roll with Brandon Adams. I seen him grow up in the sport. I seen him, go through headaches and lose some fights, and he's not your typical A-side fighter. He's won everything he's earned. And he's earned everything he's won. I'm sorry, and he's just a beast. And I love that kid, man. And I want to see him pull it off. So that's the question, that Brandon Adams.
What should his game plan be against Bohachuk? Do you think it'll be different this time around?
I think let him do the same thing too. He makes the adjustments and keep it the same. If you won that way, keep it the same. He makes adjustments just
because he was losing the fight.
Yeah, well, of course, that's going to happen. So this time, to see how now his opponent has to come in and prove that he wants to win now. So it might be good for Brandon.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And Brandon got the nutrient, he got that power,
Lastly, Callum.
I got a funny story real quick. It's really short.
Yeah.
One of my kids, Kyle has been sparring, right? He sparred Brandon Adams. And I've always told Kyle not to throw power in every shot. So he's sparring Brandon Adams. And Brandon Adams is just working with him, But Brandon Adams changes the speed on punches. And then Kyle says, dude, I need to do that. Yeah, you don't got to throw fucking hard. You don't got to throw hard every single punch. And Brandon, there's levels in boxing, right? And Brandon's at the high level. So Kyle got like 10 fights. Brandon got 25. And him just laying that out and helping him, he don't have to do that, And if I already respected Brandon, I respect him a lot more. He's always trying to make sure fighters do well and learn a lot, So Brandon's my boy, so I'm going to go with Brandon.
Yeah, and there's some good sparring last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So lastly, Callum Walsh, he's fighting Fernando Vargas Jr.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Again, Fernando Vargas Jr. He's from this area. His dad, everybody's, and it's a good fight for both men. Whoever pulls this one off, kudos to him. But I'm gonna go with Fernando Vargas Jr. Just the last name too, bro. Mm-hmm. I gotta go with him.
Yeah, and again, to be honest, on paper it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Whoever loses, are you liking how boxing's getting now, where the winner's obviously going to go on to big things, the loser resets a couple fights and they'll be back?
Of course. The glory days of boxing, all the best fighters had losses. Mm-hmm. Of course, yeah, we always wanted to be undefeated. Who doesn't want to be undefeated? But at the end of the day, the best fights are done when somebody takes an L. The best fighters have to face each other, not when they're at the end of their prime. At the end of their career, I'm sorry, and fight in their prime.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you want to say?
That's it, man. Thank you for the interview.
Appreciate
you.